There we go. Yeah, you've been relieved. I have not. So
we're all cheering for you, Peter.
I mean,
we're all cheering for you.
It'll happen for me someday.
Yeah.
All right.
Give it patience. Gas is
a city in Texas, not.
Gas is like the film, like the ether as it bubbles up from beyond, from underneath, from under your ego, and then through it, and also of it, and sideways. It is how it. I wasn't done.
I could tell you weren't done.
And now I'm done.
Okay, great.
Some movies don't exist, but I don't remember the last time I had fish eyes.
Did he say that in the movie?
I don't
He's eating
remember.
fish eyes.
Yeah, he is
in the limo.
He does have a.
Good.
I mean, yeah, there we go. I'm Peter Hunter.
And I'm Scott.
I'm Desmond. I thought you were just Scott.
Well, yeah, let's just go with that for now.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, okay. Well,
keep it on a first name basis.
all right, well.
We don't have to get that involved.
All right, well, Scott with no last name, why don't you tell us a little bit about the film?
I didn't even introduce myself, right?
It's true, he didn't.
What the hell? I'm Desmond.
I guess that'll do.
Okay, either Scott with no last name or Desmond with no last name. One of you talk about the movie we're talking about today, which is Kazaam.
I'm gonna let Desmond have the floor.
All right. The movie today is Kazaam, directed by Paul Michael Glazer of Starsky and Hutch fame. Is that correct? Are you looking at it? Okay.
Yeah. No, is he Starsky or Hutch? I know
He's
one of them.
Starsky. He's definitely Starsky. I'm probably the only person born in 1989 who actually has seen that show, the original, yeah.
And not the Vince Vaughn, other people.
No, I've seen that
remake thing
too.
Snoop Dogg is in it.
Snoop Dogg is in it.
Is Owen Wilson in it?
Owen Wilson's Hutch.
Is Ben Stiller in it?
Starsky.
I feel like Ben Stiller's in it.
He is.
That movie wasn't good.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point because we're not here talking about Starsky and Hutch.
Not.
We could be, but we're here today
that is a
talking
remake,
about
so.
Kazaam. What's the year, Peter? Because I'm not looking at it.
I don't have the year down, but I believe
1996.
I think it's 96.
Okay.
It's 95 or 96 would be my guess.
It's a movie about a genie who is found by a little boy, and the genie somehow, reassembles the young boy's family life. What more do you have to say about this film?
Yeah, it's one of those classic 90s plot lines, like you see it in like Angels in the Outfield as well, and like Air Bud and like things like that. This one magical element is gonna bring the family back together.
The White Family.
The White Family. Universally white family.
Yeah, it was another 90s child of divorce style movie, but it
Mrs. Doubtfire, it is not.
Like many things out of Kazaam, it didn't really make a lot of sense. It was like mom's like who you've been growing up with your whole life, your dad who left when you were 2 years old. This is mentioned multiple times in the movie. You don't remember fucking anything when you were 2, and you're like, you want to have like a partner in your life? Like he would be clamoring for a father figure at that point. You know what I mean? Like no, fuck you. I'll find my real dad. Goes down to the record company. Of course, dad's there. Like, dude, I'm making fucking bootleg CDs. Oh my god! Don't be like me. Don't be like me. And it's like, what the is this movie?
It's worth noting. It should have been noted before. The genie is played by Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my god! How do we not leave?
I didn't even say that. It's a Shaquille O'Neal vehicle, as they do with many sports stars. Not so much anymore, but back in the day. Maybe before the 90s as well. Stick a popular sports star in something. We did Space Jam already. You know the deal.
Exactly.
Try to make people who don't act professionally act professionally.
Who play basketball.
So obviously, there's a huge overlap in talent there.
Yeah, man. I just want to touch on something you said, Scott, which I think is the most 90s aspect of this film, is that the dad and the whole like evil, corrupt racket that that the villain is doing is selling bootleg CDs.
Right.
Like, to the point he can run a whole empire around them. Like, CDs, like, cost, like, in the 90s, cost, like, $10 each.
Yeah.
How much were you charging for the bootleg ones? Like, $5 each?
It's still you're scraping the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
at operation. Like, that's not that big time.
No, like...
As far as, like, crimes in the
Also-
music industry goes.
Also, which...
narrow window there.
Which police unit is investigating this? Which detective is losing sleep and ignoring his family to solve the bootleg CD racket?
You have like Inspector Gadget, like Detective Dipshit on the job, like for that. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
God.
if anybody, I mean, if you've even seen the box for Kazaam, you know, it's Shaq. And, like, he's, like, the main selling point, the arm cross, right? And so he actually ends up becoming somewhat of a side character in the movie. Like, as it goes on, like, it's more about the kid and his weird dad relationship. And the mom relationship really gets phased out. And it's where the mom's not at all worried, you know, that he's, I mean, you know, it's...
God, oh my God, that part. There's this part in, I think it's like Shaquille O'Neal's like third scene in the movie where like
tutor.
Where yeah, exactly. He's like already over, and he's like this 7'4", 250-pound like African American man in your house with your child before you wake up, and he's like, yeah, I'm his tutor. I take a very special interest in my children. And you're like, oh yeah, of course you're such an
I'm making house
citizen.
calls, you know.
Oh my God, I'm not to say that it would be any less suspicious if it was a giant white dude. The point
it just happens that Shaq is massive.
Shaq is
No,
gigantic.
he's a massive basketball player. He looks like a basketball player.
Yeah.
I don't know what schools were like maybe then, but I don't remember like just the school having carte blanche to send whoever into your home.
Right.
Without the parents' permission?
Without the parents' permission.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's definitely super illegal. The parents need you to sign a piece of paper for your kid to go on a 1-hour bus ride. Like,
It's
or to
also-
watch an R-rated, a PG-13 movie. Like, this is never going to happen on that side.
You know, now that I think about it, I think the CD thing is definitely them just, I'm sure like they wanted him to be a drug dealer, right? Like, and it's just like, it's a
kids movie, yeah.
It's a children's
Yeah, it's a
film,
kids
so it's like,
film, yeah.
what crime?
You know what?
horrible crime can you give a guy in a kids film other than like maybe stealing stuff, which that is. You can't make him a drug dealer. You definitely can't make him like a sex, trafficker.
Oh God, no.
Which would have been kind of like a cool element to go.
What?
I mean, it would have
man.
It would have been more in line with there's a child and there's a shady organization.
Right.
Plot-wise, I mean, it's not usually something that they go for in movies. But
Yeah.
I told you don't be like me. It's like, yeah, don't be like your dad.
towards the end, the moral of the story really gets lost. It's like, wait a minute, so something burns down, the kid falls out, like pushed down an elevator shaft and dies, and Shaq brings him back.
Even though he's not supposed to.
you're not supposed to be able to. But
That's
then
one of the genie rules.
Right.
Is not
But
supposed to.
then he becomes a djinn.
Yes.
Instead. Anyway.
Which is appreciably different, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like, so you have to imagine that like at some point, like, after Shaq signed on to the thing, it's like, but we get to be doing my rap thing in the movie, right? And it's like, yeah. And it's like it just feels like pasted in there, but the whole thing is pasted together. I mean, it's a Swiss cheese written plot, you know what I mean?
God, and like, the rapping thing. I will say that like, I think this is a bad film. I don't think it's worse than Volcano, just in terms of watchability. But I will say, out of any movie we've watched so far, fully knowing what movie we're watching on episode 10, which will be the worst film at that point, this is the cringiest film. Like, I know Shaq is trying, and like, look, Shaq, you got paid $7 million to do this movie.
Yeah, you ain't hurt.
I would have taken the $7 million and ran with it, and he's still trying, and like, but every time, like him, like that bit where he's like showering in like the living room with the like the old shower curtain Halloween costume around him. He's like, that sound effect he makes there just like sticks in my head so deeply, and you could have just put like you could have gotten Mel Blanc or like a professional voice actor to just make a sound effect and put it in post, but the director and the editor and the like audio mixer were all like, yes, this is the take. This is Shaq's take. And then there's the rapping scenes. There's I think 4 or 5 rapping scenes in here. There's the first one in the beginning where it's like a rap battle where he's explaining his history between him and the kid Max, who's played by Francis Capra, but he's not related to Frank Capra. Francis Capra,
who is a mess now.
Is he a mess?
Well,
now?
okay.
Oh, geez.
Let me rephrase it. He looks like a mess. He's definitely a working actor, but he's tattoos all
Yes,
over.
I noticed.
Tattoos,
I noticed that.
Like he's totally like playing the gangster like thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. On that note, I might blow our listeners' mind here because he's only been in like 4 things. He was in this. He was in Free Willy 2: The Voyage Home, which is like, oh yeah, that first Free Willy. Get the bleep ready. Go fuck yourself. The whale needs to be free again.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then most famously, he played Weevil on Veronica Mars. And I'm sure there's one of our dozen plus listeners out there who's just like, oh my god, this show I watched and then movie I helped kickstart. The kid from Kazaam was in it.
And like I was like reading interviews with him. I guess he's got a real shaky relationship with his actual father. Like his father died in jail or something, and like it's just like, shit. I bet you really don't like thinking about Kazaam.
Oh damn, I feel real bad now.
Because it's not one of those movies you're getting like a check every month off of.
I mean, I don't know. I watched it.
I remember it being boring. I remember it being on like the Disney Channel or wherever it would have been airing, and just like.
Yeah.
Late for a kid, 9 o'clock. And it's just like, oh, the pancakes are falling out of the sky, and
oh my god,
break someone's neck.
That first wish. Oh my god, what a stupid kid. It's the most believable part of the whole movie, where this genie appears before you. You are a child with a broken home, living in a terrible apartment. You're a latchkey kid. You could wish for so many things to make your life so much more affable, and the first thing you do is like, yeah, I just want an insurmountable amount of expirable junk food. It's all like Big Macs and fries. Like, get some Twinkies and stuff mixed in there, something that'll keep for later in the dark times.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? Last Action Hero is just a better version of Kazaam.
Oh, damn. There might be something to that.
There is something to that.
That might be something worthy of being a piece for our new blog.
I think that is,
prequelsequelremake.com/blog.
I'm just thinking you were bringing up like the mom seeing Shaq in the house for the first time. They play that so good in Last Action Hero.
Because they address all the tropes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, yeah. That's a good read, Des.
They could have done so much more with all of the zaniness of like a genie and a kid's movie. Like, they should have pushed it further, but then it just wanders into this just like you're saying, it's a boring movie. It's kind of just very stale, and it's weird that it is. But hey, at least you got to hang out with Shaq.
Obviously, Robin Williams played a genie before, as we all know, but it's like you almost like it's like you should have a Robin Williams playing this genie, like or a Jim Carrey, or like
I'd take a Jim Belushi over Shaq.
There's only one Robin Williams.
Yeah, of course there's only one Robin Williams. Yeah,
you don't have Robin Williams.
But
you
like,
have Robin.
Well, you don't have anything
saying,
anymore.
like,
actually, that Tim and Eric guy, he did actually a pretty good job.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what Des is saying, you'd want like a boisterous, like comedian type, like get a Belushi or get like a Kevin James even would be a better.
Yeah, even or like
Shaq
okay,
was.
like Shazam's. I'm sorry. Wow,
Shazam.
that's actually another subject. Kazam's a black guy, obviously. Like a black comedian. I don't know who's fast talking of that era. Chris Tucker. I don't know. Chris Rock. Will Smith. Kind of.
Oh man,
as the same kind of like.
He might have been too expensive at that.
Probably,
That's
but
like,
you know
this
what I
is
mean.
Post-Independence Day.
They're probably also big enough that they have readers. They have people who would just look at the script for Kazaam and go, no.
Oh.
No.
Oh man, I've got some. No, you're definitely right. But the script makes me think of something. So I did a lot of research into Kazaam because, I mean, there's like a lot of like interesting little things about this movie. So the screenwriting team was originally brought together to write the 4th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, which was never made.
That's too bad. That would.
And apparently they hated each other the entire time.
It shows.
And instead they took like the guy who directed this movie, Hutch or Starsky. Sorry.
Starsky.
Yeah, Starsky. Gave them this story treatment, and they were like, yeah, okay. And then they wrote Kazaam. These two guys who hated each other, who originally were supposed to write the follow-up to Turtles in Time or whatever the third one was called. the one where they time travel.
That's the
And
one
then
where
the
they go
guy
to
from
Japan, right?
and then the guy from Highlander
Yes,
is the
that is
villain.
the one where they go to Japan.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
actually,
one.
it's not called Turtles in Time, but we all
That's
do
the
it because
video
of the
game.
video game. But like, I remember hearing something.
Is it
with the
Secret of the Ooze, or is that 2?
That's number
That's number 2.
Number 2 is
That's
Secret of the
that's
Ooze.
the worst one.
Oh, ooh, debatable. Debatable. Let's not delve into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We don't want to. It's touchy territory. We don't.
Okay.
We don't want to upset the balance.
All right.
We have much to get into in the way of prequels,
White
sequels, and remakes.
family must be reunited. They must be reunited.
But they weren't even in the end.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
saying. They
he
really
was-
they weren't.
His dad walked off with him at the part where he was supposed to die, but then didn't die.
But he shouldn't have been with the dad. He
Of
should have
course
been
he
with his
shouldn't have.
responsible
Look,
mother and her
look.
very nice man friend.
Men can't possibly relate to women, Scott. That's why Wonder Woman was a complete failure at the box office.
All right.
I love Wonder Woman. Anyway,
do you really?
I mean,
you love.
I think it's pretty good. I'm very happy it was very successful.
I had a good time, but like it's like I don't know, in the same way I have like a good time with like a Fast and Furious thing. Like it's like this is bad. David Thewlis at the end is Ares, this old
Okay.
British white guy. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
like,
no, let's not delve deeply
I'm
into
not.
that.
But like I don't know. I like what it represents and
Yeah.
all that. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
no.
Gal Gadot, but it's
I
just
like
like
Gal
that movie
Gadot.
was trash.
It was just the same like every Marvel movie. Like
Oh,
most of them are just
n-
mediocre
no, it was-
action films.
Uh,
All right. Anyways, let's not delve into this. Scott cut almost all of that out.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, now that I said that, you have to do it. That's the power.
Or when I talk about like how would they find their way around the ocean without land, and like I'm like here's like well the stars or the sun. Like Scott cut that out.
Okay.
Don't cut.
Okay.
we may not. It just depends on time.
Yeah. Okay.
Future me knows everything.
Okay, and then a couple quick Kazam facts before we get into final thoughts. This is the last film this director directed.
They note that.
His one song is Kazam. And what a note to go out on, because this film cost $20 million to make. I want to note again that Shaq was paid $7 million to star in this film. And it made $18.9 million. So this was an abject failure. I dragged my father to see this film in theaters, as well as Shaq Steele. Dragged him to both.
You were part of that 18.9. I
was part of the
the
failure.
historic 18.9. Well, we all remember the historic 18.9 and the gold rush when we all walked down with our fathers to watch Kazaam and the
Are we gonna talk about?
$8.9 million revenue.
Are we gonna talk Shazam? Are we gonna tiptoe around that?
I guess we could discuss Shazam. So Desmond, you are the most well versed in this. I considered this for what I was going to base my remake on, but I had a heavy inkling just from skimming that it would be something you'd jump on, so I didn't.
Oh, I never want that to be the case. Don't shy away. It's great. Me and Scott both did separate movies directed by Wes Anderson.
Fair.
His turned out great.
Fair. So the gist of the Shazam thing is that the internet basically convinced itself that there was this movie that came out before Kazam that starred Sinbad called Shazam, which was the same thing but with Sinbad.
Right. Which doesn't exist. And honestly, I'm one of the people who's like, that doesn't exist. It's Kazam. Like, and it's been found now that the whole deal was there's a picture of a picture of Sinbad dressed like a genie from him like hosting a Sinbad the Sailor marathon on television.
Yeah,
over some
I remember that.
Right,
Of course
right.
that
But I knew it
happened.
wasn't a movie.
It wasn't a movie, which, I mean, it's funny. You hear these Mandela effect type things, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, no.
Could it just
That's a
be
great
that
example
you're
of the Mandela
remembering
effect.
it wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Who'd have thunk that?
who on the internet would admit that, Scott?
Well-
the answer is no one.
That being said,
I mean, the whole Berenstein stain,
Oh man,
Bears thing. It's like,
that messes me up, man. That messes me up.
but it's like, maybe they just spelled it wrong when they put the label on a couple of the VHS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think
No.
if we're talking like, dimensional like shifts and stuff. Like, I think it just belittles the conversation to like rail it into like, but only pop culture stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, it would have much more far-reaching implications. And
Right. It's funny, and like the first time I heard that thing, I cracked up and was like, no, it was definitely Steen, but it's. I guess it's not. I don't know. We were wrong.
everybody always said Steen.
I think in the cartoon they say Steen.
I think that's it, because I remember watching the cartoon more than reading the books.
It's
I
like
definitely
stain,
remember that.
steen, tomato, potato, LL Cool J, Alice Cooper. It's just one of those things that that you can't help but say one another at the
Oh my
same
god,
time.
just trying to repair the friendship after this last time. Des, are you okay? You okay? You doing fine?
I'm doing great,
You're-
actually.
Yeah, okay, well that's good. So, in the spirit of doing fine, Des, would you recommend Kazaam?
No, there's no reason as an adult or a child you should watch this movie. It's not fun. If you really just need your Shaquille O'Neal cinematic fix, go watch Steel. 'Cause
Yeah.
at least it's a mundane, crappy '90s attempt at a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But no, this movie's awful. It's near unwatchable.
Or I would recommend just YouTube search Shaq in a Fool, which is his segment on TNT every Thursday, where he looks at terrible basketball highlights and just like makes fun of people. It's very enjoyable. Highly recommend Shaqtin' a Fool. Shaqtin' is spelled exactly how you think it is, and I'm not going to elaborate further than that. All right.
My hat is like a Shaq's fin.
There you go.
All right, Scott Hanshu, would you recommend Kazaam?
No.
Bunch of grown men not very satisfied here.
I mean, I had seen it before, and I remember I came away from the second time of watching it feeling about the same, if not a little worse for wear, just in that I paid attention a bit more this time around and was just further disappointed by it's not a good time.
Like, I watched this after my girlfriend had gone to bed just because it was like, I mean, I'm not going to waste
you're much nicer than I am.
waste your time with this, like, this homework. You don't want to watch Kazaam.
So, no, I'm a no. Peter?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good answer.
to be fair, the way I watched this was a version, because I was going to watch it for the podcast, but then they took it off of Hulu literally the day before I was going to watch it for the podcast.
Cruel fate.
So I had to watch it on YouTube, this really low quality version with subtitles in like Arabic, Scott, because I know you watched it in the same thing.
I switched. I watched it for 10 minutes like that. And I'm like, this is unwatchable.
Well, that's how I watched
this is already wow. This already unwatchable movie made like a million times worse. And so no, I eventually found some crappy stream somewhere.
I will say though, I think this film is ultimately harmless because both Shaq's acting career and, more surprisingly, rap career survived Kazaam. So if those two not good things could survive Kazaam, then Kazaam was ultimately harmless, except for the $1.1 million they lost.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered all of our bases as it is with Kazaam, where first base is putting on the movie, second base is unboxing the movie. You know what I mean? And the third base is like
Throwing out the movie.
I was gonna say tongue kissing the magnetic strip, the VHS as it goes
Taking
around.
off the saran wrap with your teeth.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm here to, balance,
I think it's about time we move into the meat of the show.
not the potatoes.
There could be potatoes. We don't know yet.
I mean,
I don't want to presume.
we have to be going to a classy restaurant.
Exactly. So why don't we start off with our prequel, this time as penned by Sir Desmond.
Desmond Ports, that's me.
Take it away, Des.
So I am on Prequel Detail this week, and the title is Kazaam the Great. Tagline: At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Directed by Peter Jackson. Black screen. A familiar voice of Galadriel narrates. The world is changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for now, none who live remember it. It began with the forging of the great lamps. 3 were given to the cats, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. 7 to the great dino lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 lamps were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power. But they were, all of them, deceived, for another lamp was made. In the land of Cape Cod, In the fires of Mount Volcano, the Dark Lord Shazam forged in secret a master lamp to control all others. And into this lamp he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. One lamp to rule all the other lamps. One by one, the lamp masters were imprisoned inside the very treasures they coveted so dearly, cursed with an evil magic, becoming the first genies. But there were some who resisted. A last stand of men marched against the armies of Shazam. Victory was near, but the power of the lamp could not be undone. It was in this moment, when all hope had faded, that one brave warrior summoned her genie and made a wish. And Shazam, enemy of the free peoples of Middle Cape Cod, was defeated, imprisoned in the master lamp. With that, the warrior vanished, never to be seen again. And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. History became legend. Legend became myth. And for 2,500 generations, the master lamp passed out of all knowledge. Until, when chance came, the lamp would ensnare a new owner. And so our story begins. Cue main title card. And it's gotta be the Lord of the Rings music there.
Oh, really? Really? Which part of that whole thing said Lord of the Rings to anybody here?
Okay.
I was thinking you should have gone with the Princess Bride score.
It wasn't. How I know you're not gonna put, my hat's like a shark's fin in the. Actually, you should just do that.
No,
I mean,
no.
I just did. I just did, just like that. All you gotta do is mention a new song and it's there. It's like a Kiss from a Rose. Bam, there it is. Yep, now we're listening to Kiss from a Rose. Sorry.
Shazam the Great with music by Seal.
And we're gonna
and
transition
here-
back into the Lord of the Rings music.
Cue main title card. Kazaam the Great. We pan through the streets of Cape Cod, set to the tune of Arabian Nights. We come to a bazaar where young street performer and magician Kazaam the Great, played by Will Smith, Will Smithel as it's written here,
Will Smithel!
performs various tricks and dance moves to an adoring audience. Palace guards watch begrudgingly and become hostile once Kazaam pulls one of their wives' panties out of his hat.
Ah, Peter Jackson.
He is then chased away by a group of mean palace guards, played by Ron Perlman, Clancy Brown, and James Remar. All those guys are really similar. Look into it. Kazaam sings and evades capture in an Aladdin-type fashion. No duh. The guards begin to swing their scimitars wildly, trying to kill him. He evades the attacks with acrobatic speed until he eventually throws down a smoke bomb, seemingly disappearing. The guards walk off defeated as Kazaam watches from around the corner laughing. He heads back home and is greeted by his pet monkey, Sykes, played by Chris Kattan.
like him doing a voice of a monkey, or he is playing the monkey?
Him like scaled down in like a monkey costume.
Yeah,
Do you remember
that's
that-
what I first thought.
Do you remember that SNL bit that was just him being tossed an apple and then eating it poorly like a monkey
Yes.
would eat an apple?
I don't.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think that was his audition tape as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, anyways, let's roll a clip of that, I guess.
There's no way you can't hear that. It's just apple pieces flying.
Then roll a clip of whatever crappy SNL movie he was in that wasn't.
Peter, I'm gonna be honest. I'm playing the SNL theme. That's it.
Which season, Scott?
Just roll around.
BI.
That night, Kazaam lays in his bed in his ramshackle rooftop hut, pawing at a ragged genie doll his mother gave him before she died. Street rat, riff raff, At that moment, he hears footsteps approaching his tent. Sykes readies his machete, full size, not wee little monkey size, anticipating the palace guards from earlier. At that moment, an elderly man, played by John Leguizamo, enters the tent.
Yes.
I do not mean you harm.
The old man exclaims.
I come bearing gifts of skirt steak tapas. Food.
Says Kazaam. Kazaam.
Food.
He says. This is gonna be rough. It's like written as Kazaam, and I can't. The two men begin to eat, throwing scraps at Sykes the monkey, who is doing typical Chris Kattan bullshit. Which is funny that I haven't seen that skit, and I wrote that. But anyway.
Don't trust that old man, it's Jafar.
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
I come seeking you, Kazaam the Great. I'm looking for an aid on a grand adventure. Oh, so that's it. I'm some kind of adventurer now.
Says Kazaam.
Your skills are said to be unparalleled. Your speed and agility unmatched. I seek a treasure, long thought forgotten, in the Cave of Wonders. Oh my God. Help me find it, and all the other riches in the cave are yours. All right, man, but you gotta do something about that robe, because, I can't be walking around with you looking hella busted and shit.
Oh, man, that's too good.
Oh my God.
The two make the long journey through the hot desert sun until eventually coming to the mouth of the cave. They venture into the belly of the secret treasure trove, admiring the vast riches. They meet a magic carpet, also played by John Leguizamo.
Double cast in the same.
It saves money, Scott. I assume.
The man then finds the treasure he seeks, a magic lamp.
Yes, I found it. After all this time.
Screams the old man. He rubs the lamp. Out pops a genie, played by Sinbad.
Damn it.
Sinbad sings and does impressions and a bunch of other obnoxious crap, demonstrating his raw power.
So that's it. I guess you're some kind of genie, I guess?
Says Kazaam, unimpressed. Shazam.
Hell nah, fool! I ain't some genie. I'm motherfucking Shazam! Oh, alright. So you're like the one genie to rule them all? Fuck yeah, bitch! Now free my ass from this lamp before I have an adulterous relationship with your mama! You would like that, wouldn't you?
Says the old man, standing up straight now and speaking differently.
You must take us for fools, freeing the Dark Lord. Ha! You can forget about that. What gives, dude? You ain't no old man.
Says Kazaam.
Indeed, I am not.
The old man then sheds the facade completely.
I am Khan, Noonien Singh. So that's it, huh? You're just some great dictator from the eugenics wars of the 1990s? The very same.
Says Khan.
Now, about my wishes. You ain't getting
Yells Shazam.
Oh, indeed I am. It's the genie code. Otherwise, you cease to exist. Now, for my first wish, there is a certain man I seek revenge on, and I need you to bring him here.
Meanwhile, in space.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Captain's log, stardate 22:59:45. While on a routine loop around Venus, we experienced a flash of energy before disappearing and reappearing in orbit of what appears to be an ancient Earth. First Officer Spock believes we have yet again traveled through a wormhole, but only time will tell. Captain, I've been able to locate the source of the energy that transported us here. It's located in an Earth cave located in the desert. Seems to be some sort of humanoid. Very good, Mr. Spock. Beam them aboard, Scotty. Damn it, Jim. We don't even know who it is. I don't see it wise to travel through time and invite an ancient being on board a Constitution-class vessel. Sometimes you have to take risks, Bones.
It's pretty good, Bones.
No, you don't. Pretty much every problem we have on this ship comes from beaming someone aboard we shouldn't. Shouldn't you be doing something in sickbay?
He never is in sickbay.
No, he's never. The part of Scotty tonight will be portrayed by Hector Barbosa, because I can't do a Scottish accent.
Aye, Captain. Energy source incoming.
Yells Captain Kirk.
James T. Kirk, my old friend. Never thought you'd see me again, would you? I marooned you on SETI Alpha 5. Where are we? After you marooned me on SETI Alpha 5, the nearest star went supernova. I was sucked into a black hole. I thought I would be killed for certain, but in the blink of an eye, I wound up here, in the land of Cape Cod, where magic exists.
Cape Cod.
Magic? That's ridiculous.
Says Captain Kirk.
Negative, Captain.
Says Spock.
We have met both Satan and God, been to gangster and pilgrim planets, along with travel through time almost annually. Magic would be the logical next step. So what do you want with me, Khan? Are you here to settle a score with your genie? Wish me out of existence? No, James Kirk. You see, I have taken on religion. Here in the land of Cape Cod, we worship the molten paw for remembrance of our cat lords. Genie, I wish for a world shaped in the image of our cat ancestors. Man, this!
Says Shazam.
You do not obey me? No, I'm the Dark Lord. If anyone is reshaping the world, it's me.
Shazam then shoots Khan with a beam of electricity and disintegrates him in the same fashion as Captain Tyrell from Wrath of Khan.
All right, y'all, I'm taking this starship.
Says Shazam.
Either y'all gonna help me travel back in time before I was imprisoned in this fucking lamp, or I'm gonna kill all of you. What would a genie want with a starship?
Says Kirk. Kazam then steps in.
Oh, hell no, I ain't letting some genie with a space-time continuum. I don't even know where we are, but I know one thing. You is fine.
He points to Uhura. You know.
I mean,
Will Smith.
Hey, girl, what
Yeah,
you
exactly.
got going on later? Yeah.
Shazam then speaks.
Fool! You cannot stop me. It's not over until I say it is over.
Shazam then shoots Kazam with a beam of lightning. Kazam does not flinch. His eyes begin to glow, and he gains a bluish hue.
It can't be. My long-lost son.
Says Shazam.
I never knew my father, but it turned out I was a genie all along.
Says Kazam. At that moment, a Klingon bird of prey appears, containing Shere Khan, Scar, and Dirty Harry.
all right.
Shere Khan.
We come from the future, where the molten paw has figured out time travel. We demand the lamp at once. We will reform the world for the Order of the Cats. That wasn't part of the deal, Khan.
Says Dirty Harry.
I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further. Jesus, the reference.
Dirty Harry then pulls out his magnum and shoots Shere Khan. Enraged, Scar turns and shoots Dirty Harry in the chest, only to be shot as Dirty Harry falls to the floor dead. Confused by whatever happened here, Kirk takes the captain's chair.
Kazaam, I wish for this evil genie to be wiped from existence. Some will remember him, some won't. But he will remain forever gone.
Kazam then erases his father Shazam from existence as he spins into a lamp and implodes while cursing. Kirk comes in to congratulate him, but immediately rubs the lamp and traps Kazam inside it.
Mr. Spock, what should we do with this? Perhaps we leave it in a construction site in New York City in the 1990s in hopes that a young Cuban child will discover it and it will help repair his broken relationship with his father. Today has been a weird one, Mr. Spock.
The end. Wah, na, 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 na. Rotten Tomatoes score, critics 42%, audiences 78%. This is a TV movie. People cut it a little bit of a break. Budget $20 million. Expected gross profit, whatever good TV viewership brings in. Actual gross profit, $85 million. Tons of DVDs sold, given the cross-franchise appeal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you cover
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of bases there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Starts Lord of the Rings.
Starts directly just Lord of the Rings.
Goes rather quickly to Aladdin and then just straight to Star Trek, which is I would watch the shit out of that.
Sounds like a
movie.
sweet movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think
no,
you did a
that's-
great job of making sense of the Mandela effect there. Yeah, cool.
It was
Oh,
an episode
God.
of Star Trek that we never saw. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're very specific requests that a child find it
Yeah.
at a construction site, you know.
Oh my God. Like, oh God. You have to be like so many stupid ass levels.
But wasn't the
of
lamp
nerdy.
a boombox?
It was a boombox.
But he
yes.
goes into the boombox like
It was like a lamp.
There's some contrivance for how he got from the lamp into the boombox.
But he's initially in a lamp.
He is initially in the lamp, but there's a contrivance for how he got from the lamp to the boombox.
The boombox is cool.
I don't remember. I might add that the boombox was like a ghetto blaster that plays tapes, but the whole crux of the plot is that his dad's thing is selling counterfeit CDs.
Nah, man, it's all magnetic. You know what I mean? It's just how it records on the magnet, the magnetosphere. Man, it's a gyre. You know, it's coming in and out of every one of us. It's this electromagnetic field. You know, the resonance. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's all around you. It's part of you. You know what I'm saying?
But great job,
Yeah,
Desmond.
no,
Why,
great
thank
job.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
great job. There's a lot of deep cut references, a lot of more casual references. Yes, there were.
What a cut.
What is Genie want with a starship? That's a deep cut reference, damn it.
God wants a starship. You don't ask the Almighty what he wants with your starship, Jim.
You do a really good Bones, I will say.
I watch a lot of Starship.
So
It's like the only show I watch when like the main like serialized dramas are off the air for their year. Like,
yeah, you watch Star Trek the cartoon show even. Which is unwatchable
I like
garbage.
That cartoon.
What? That cartoon's awful.
It's not great, but I just like
not good.
I like any cartoon where they don't bother to shade the pupils white.
Right.
And it's just like the same shade.
Yeah.
I love that.
I would almost rather watch the Mr. T cartoon than that show.
Well,
actually,
Porque no lo está.
that whole thing might make sense, like animated, like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
I was imagining it.
But it was directed by Peter Jackson, so
Yeah,
there's going to be a
just-
lot of weta workshop in there.
To go in line with what I said, it's just like, what were you thinking, Peter?
Could have used more
Jackson,
like
yes.
drawn out giant monster battles, but
Yeah, no, it was
Right.
entertaining. I liked how it just was a Star Trek episode. I liked that it was a Star Trek
Yes.
episode and not Kazam.
That was the part that was the best.
That was the best part to me.
But no, the Will Smith Kazam part. That's classic.
I mean, you busted ass genie.
Yeah.
All right, well, our prequel is thoroughly settled. It's time to move on to the sequel. And the sequel this week is penned by Mr. Scott Henshaw,
Oh yes, it is.
who's Ringo's star right now.
Oh yes. Well, strap in, gents, because
He's got an octopus's garden.
I'm gonna be playing the drums. Just
playing
the drums.
Poorly playing the drums.
Sequel: Kazam 2, Legalese. Tagline: Legalese it. Tagline 2: Fun.
Oh, jeez.
Directed by James Cameron.
God, we're gonna have a lot of James Cameron on this podcast.
I should really become familiar with more direct. It's what it really is. It's like, yeah, just toss you in there. It's gonna be weird either way. But no, there's some. You'll see. It's New Year's Eve, 2016, in New York. Skrillex has just finished an epic dubstep set when he pauses the music only minutes before midnight. I've been having so much fun DJing for you all. It's time for you guys all met someone who's really DJing. He's not only an amazing rapper and basketball player, but he's also the tallest genie I've ever met. I'm talking about my boy, Kazaam. Kazaam.
Yes.
Shaq walks on stage to an uproar of applause.
Great reprisal.
After his episode with Max Connor years ago, Kazaam has taken to his new freedom of being a genie turned djinn by becoming a touring DJ. He's DJ-in. Kazaam then throws down an epic face-melting trap set, taking several balloons of nitrous on stage.
Oh man, DJing Scott. That's
Yeah.
a low or a high. I don't know what it is.
Super clever.
While
I'm not willing to go that far yet.
While hyperventilating a particularly hefty nitrous balloon, he falls backwards onto the DJ table and brings the entire concert to a halt. In his stupor, he has a vision of music. All the music going bye-bye.
I heard a new track. I need to go back.
Says Kazaam. Back where?
Back to the past. I need to save music. Music should be free. I'm the only one who can do it.
With that, Kazaam presses rewind on his magical boombox and gets involved with a totally groovy time wormhole that brings him back to the year 2001, A Space Odyssey. But really, it's just 2001 without the Space Odyssey. 2001.
We got you, buddy. We got you.
A hardened and tatted up Max Connor, reprised by a hardened and tatted Francis Capra, exits Juvenile Hall to his gang of punk hooligans, eager for anything to do beyond the mid-90s. He has a plan to follow in his father's footsteps and monopolize the music industry.
We'll control all distribution, then jack up the prices of all the CDs. We won't need bootleg CDs because we'll have the real thing.
Oh man. They're in for a rude awakening.
That'll show that fucking genie for walking out on me when I needed him most. Every cent of his rap money will be mine. Oh my god.
This is awesome. Already.
Good job, Scott.
Max. A very mad Max strolls into a big recording studio with his gang of thugs. Blowing out his cigarette smoke onto the engineer, he says,
You boys are open for business, right? So I'm looking to make a few hits.
2001. Outside a diner in Estonia, lots of electricity lights up the night sky. Revealed is a balled-up naked Kazaam in the middle of the parking lot. He walks up to the biker outside the diner.
I need your basketball shorts for balling, your curly shoes for walking, and your motorcycle and other stuff. That's why I'm talking.
Oh no.
Before waiting for an answer, Kazaam beats the shit out of the biker and takes his stuff because y'all saw that was gonna come to just get to it, right?
Yeah. Efficient.
Kazaam bikes over to the local Kinko's to make a series of flyers advertising for programmers wanted immediately. Kazaam spends a few hours waiting by a payphone until finally, there's a hit. Max Connor and his hooligan punk friends have occupied the record industry. Max now taking meetings with top record executives.
It's really simple. You give us control of all shares on the music industry's sales, and you get to live. Simple as that.
One of his hooligan friends waves a knife in the executive's face, while another punches him in the stomach. Of course, the executive signs the papers.
You'll never get away with this, you douchebag.
Max is incensed.
Are you calling moi a douchebag?
The executive is held down. Let me cut you in on a little deal. Max takes a circular saw made with razor-sharp vinyl records and cuts off the executive's arm. Teach him a lesson, you know?
Yeah. It's a lesson.
Holed up in a wayward shack, after several weeks of hard programming work and Kazaam looking on over the shoulder or from the couch, finally, their peer-to-peer file-sharing platform is complete.
We'll call it Kazaam. It's similar to my name. We'll also include my entire album for fame.
Says Kazaam. See?
Once you get on a different...
Yeah, no, leave it in.
Says Kazaam in perfect Estonian.
Finally, all music will be free. Take it from me. And my former friend won't be able to go through his plan of monopolizing the music industry for profit in the past, which is now, which I have to assume would have already happened in the future I came from where I was successful, but still, I have to assume this is the right thing to do, because time travel and stuff, I know this to be true.
And with that, they published their software for the world to use, and also a link to Kazaam's whole album for free. Donations suggested. The backlash was immediate. Max Connor sent a whole bunch of punks to Estonia to forcibly extradite Kazaam, but the damage was done. The world had access to music like never before, 100% illegally. Once inside the United States, Kazaam was apprehended. When asked if he needed an attorney for legal purposes, he replied,
Legal Smeagol, you play me for a fool? I am Kazaam. I make my own rules.
Little did he know that just so happened to be the slogan for the local bus bench lawyer, Legal Smeagol, as played by Smeagol from Lord of the Rings.
It's a funny tie in there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Will the court please provide the process for examination?
It's really good.
Mr. Smeagol, for the last time, I'm going to ask you to take a seat and we can start this court case.
Nasty tricks and fast, judges!
Mr. Smeagol, if you continue like this, I will hold you in contempt of court.
Objection, Your Honor!
Sit the fuck down!
The judge...
Little monkey, whatever.
The judge hurls a fish at Smeagol, who hops on top of it and digs in, getting fish guts splattered all over his lawyer suit.
The court will now proceed with the music industry versus Kazaam. All rise. Stay risen. Risen up. Back on the street. Took my time. Took my chances.
Oh my god.
And now unrise. The defendant, Kazaam, as represented by his lawyer, Legal Smeagol.
Fishy fish so tasty.
Right.
What he says.
Right. And the music industry, as represented by thug boss Max Connor, as represented by his lawyer, Gollum.
Oh my god.
Right. So, the defendant stands accused of larceny in the largest degree or whatever. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty, Your Honor, for you see, and that's because all music is born free.
Max explodes.
That's bullshit, Kazaam. What you did was steal.
Shaquille O'Neal. Steal.
At least I didn't get caught drunk behind the wheel.
Kazaam is wooing the jury with his catchy rhymes.
Yeah, well, neither did I. Not sure what you're implying, Genie.
Hold on now, boy. You don't know what year you're in. I'm not just a rapping genie. I'm also DJing.
Kazaam does a couple of scratches on a vinyl DJ set. He appeared out of thin air. The judge intervenes.
That's quite enough of that. Mr. Zam, the allegations you stand accused of are very severe and groundbreaking. I mean, we all remember what happened back when file sharing became a thing and Metallica got all pissed off, which hasn't happened yet. But I digress.
Pardon me, Judge, and I'm hearing you though. But what if this castle was made out of snow? I'm speaking of the music, the vibes that we have all felt. Trying to own that, you just might as well watch snow melt.
The hell is he talking about? Your Honor, this genie deliberately invented software for the process of intellectual property theft. Please, do not let him sway the jury's opinion with this nonsense rhyming couplet talk.
The judge bangs the gavel.
Mr. Smeagol, do you have anything to say in the defense of your clients?
The defense, Your Honor, finds the defendant guilty.
What? I thought you were my lawyer, man.
Screams Kazaam.
Father, not you. You.
Smeagol turns on Max.
Me? I'm just crooked label executive. I haven't been convicted of any wrongdoing yet.
Oh, really?
Kazaam holds up a grip of bootleg discs.
This man's father made black market CDs. It's like the free throws. I never make these.
The jury is cheering now.
Your Honor, he's just rhyming again.
It's not just my rhymes, though they're feeling the funk. Watch this vertical genie dunk.
Kazaam slam dunks into a basketball hoop he made in the courtroom. The judge bangs his gavel.
Order, order. I'm speaking to Mr. Smeagol now. What is your... What's going on here?
Smeagol fixes a mean stare on the judge. As played by Franklin from Arrested Development.
Oh no.
You stole it. You tricked me, and you stole it from me.
What on earth are you talking about?
I'm precious. You stole the precious. Are you seriously asking? Okay, my precious!
That's really good.
Smeagol makes a dash towards the judge and manages to choke him for a few seconds before being subdued by the bailiff. Court is resumed years later, and a verdict has been reached.
Mr. Zam, you are hereby found guilty for making pirating software and making music a valueless commodity. I hereby sentence you to life in prison in a genie bottle or something.
Well, that sucks, and I'd love to stay. But I must be a DJ, and so now I'm on my way.
Kazaam presses fast forward on his boombox and enters a groovy time portal to the future. He wakes up in the hospital with Skrillex by his side.
What happened to music? Is it set free? What on earth has happened to me?
Dude, you passed out onto the DJ table and kind of ruined the countdown to 2017. But it's okay, because I've still got 2 wishes left. And there are a few rogue nations that need an unbridled, explosive introduction to democracy. Oh, gosh. And together we're gonna do amazing things. Oh, my gosh. Just as certain as my name is Skrillex. Oh. And your name is Kazaam.
What the fuck?
Smash cut to that Skrillex song.
Hell yeah! Yeah!
Got 2 Lord of the Rings crossovers in one go.
See, you never know what you're gonna
In
get.
a
never know.
Movie completely unrelated to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow, that that went some places.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
I liked the Kazam connection. As soon as he was like looking for a programmer, he was like, I thought for a second he was gonna invent the software Shazam.
I was almost certain we were all gonna do that. But, at least, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe.
On Topic is not my name. You definitely start out like the typical like 20 years later sequel, like
Yeah,
Legal Smeagol.
make them set now.
Legal Smeagol.
This is patent pending on that, by the way. I'm taking that. So what was the monetary does this movie cost? The budget, $4.
Explain, elaborate.
Most of the movie was cut together using stock footage.
Okay. All right. No way that works, but I'll allow it.
No, you can do it. It's gonna be jerky, but you can do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be jerky. It's gonna be real jerky.
Most of that was spent on the stock footage. The licensing fees. You got to get the watermark on.
It's clearly
Watermark's still on.
It's clearly just videos.
Oh yeah, you don't want to pay for all of them.
It's just you. It's just you, Scott, doing these voices and then taking videos off of YouTube and then voicing over them.
I could do that. I could do that. We're most of the way there now. Rotten Tomatoes score, critics score 12%, audience score 11%. Liked it just a little bit less.
You know what?
Simpatico.
Sounds fair.
Now, interestingly enough, critics cited that it tried to be many kinds of a movie at once and failed at all of them, which is startlingly accurate to the original movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much
there you
on
go.
point.
Yeah.
Expected gross profit, $30. Actual gross profit, $24.
Damn. just short of expectations.
Yeah,
Oh man. Well,
there we go.
that was not a destination. That was most certainly a journey.
That was Journey.
There was no destination. That didn't end up anywhere. That was
long and winding road, you know.
It ended up with Skrillex wanting to mess up the world governments.
Yeah.
Like
Stranger things have happened.
Kazam being like Dr. Seuss, just the whole thing.
Oh my
like,
God.
Rhyming.
Well, he basically did that in the movie.
He did it for a lot of the movie.
He did.
There's a lot of bad late 1970s, early 1980s grade rap that he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
thrilling.
loosely rhymed. Let's just
Loosely.
say.
We'll be chilling when you being thrilling. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, that's off the cover of Steel.
Yeah. Let's roll a clip of that terrible rap from the beginning with the kid and Shaq.
Bob your head, Max. We were buried to our necks in sand like a sea. By consulting with the sword and a lock and a key. I looked to a bird and he said to me, and when the magic is over, we ain't men, we genie. What are we, Max? I can't hear you, Max. I cannot hear you. What are we?
I have to imagine, like, because, I mean, you guys didn't really watch basketball at this time period, but Shaq was so good in this time period. And, like, that album he has is terrible, but he was, like, dominating all of these, like, historically amazing big men, like Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson, these Patrick Ewing, these first ballot Hall of Famers, legends, and they had to be there and be like, the guy who made this terrible rap album is just, like, owning me so badly.
I don't know. I kind of have grown to.
I grown indeed, Desmond.
I've grown to kind of like love these like celebrity vanity projects. They're we talked long ago about Bruno.
Oh man.
This
Coming
basketball players rapping. I recently found out that David Hasselhoff was like in a Jekyll and Hyde musical in like 2004.
That only vaguely surprised me.
Off Broadway. It's effing horrible.
I'm sure.
Find clips of it on YouTube. It's bad.
Yeah.
She made Skrillex sound like such a sex pervert at the end there.
His voice, from what I remember, is pretty high pitched. He was a bassist in an emo band before he was Skrillex proper.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called, like From First to Last or something that generic.
God, really? That's...
Yeah. Let's roll a clip of that. All right, let's keep that clip under 3 seconds because I'm sure it's terrible music.
Yeah. If that's your thing, we're not.
It was my
hating.
thing. It was my thing when I was 14 years old.
Right, it wasn't my thing, but at any point.
Well, we can't all be cool 14-year-olds.
I thought I was all the punk clothes. I was hella cool. Everybody thought so. Everybody thought so. No one likes to remember 14.
No.
Do they?
And if you do, man.
Yeah,
Let that go.
Right.
Yeah, I have a good.
Yeah.
My friend Spencer always says that you're the worst person you are at 13, and then it's all up from there. 14's right after 13, so
It's in a close proximity.
so it's got to be bad. No, you peaked at worseness later.
I was worse later, definitely.
Well, I'm sorry, Des.
It's kind of nice. at
Well, you're
14.
delightful now.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
I think you're worse. God, 14 versus 17? Like, 17, you actually think you know something, and you're fucking off school, and just like, I don't know, you're a little bastard. A bunch of 17-year-olds will, like, mess with you. We're like, we're in our late 20s here. It's like a bunch of 17-year-olds would, like, try to punk you and mess with you just because they're 17-year-olds and don't give a crap. 14-year-olds are still kind of children. They might lay off.
I don't know, man.
I'm speaking because I just got punked by a bunch of 17-year-olds. Won't go into the story. Anyway.
Really? You're not gonna go into it?
Dude, like
Oh.
that type of like,
Really?
like and like flinch, and it's like he flinched. It's just like, I thought you were gonna elbow me in the face. Man.
You were close to it.
You're really close to it, but it's
That
just
is
like,
assault.
yeah, it would have been assault.
That's
but it's just like,
yeah.
it's like,
It would have been
hey
better.
kid, like come on, I ain't some old man. Not that I prefer you do that to an old man, but
No.
I'm like a grown adult. Who do you think you are, man? I could beat you within an inch of your life.
Except you'd go to jail for that.
Yeah.
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 It'd be even worse because he's a minor.
Well, when
yeah,
he's
you're
white.
You're a major. Oh.
He had that stupid hat on
Yeah.
with that little light and the stupid hard hat with the light.
The kid did?
He was a minor. He was asking for it.
The kid.
Swinging that pickaxe like he's fucking worth a shit.
I mean, the kids would wear mining helmets if Pharrell Williams like wore one in a video or something.
Yeah, kids, come on. It's cool. It's clean coal.
Well, that was a fantastic sequel to a movie we all love. But you got the remake, so how are you going to do it better this week, Peter?
It's get ready for your emotions. Title: I am Kazaam. Tagline: the wish we want is not the wish we know. Directed by Aaron Sorkin. With a special musical score by Ira Glass. Ira Glass, not Philip Glass. Ira Glass. NPR producer, nasally voice having Ira Glass.
All right. Did you do music now, or?
I mean, you had two golems in your movie. It can have Ira
Fair
Glass
enough.
make this.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I wasn't.
We're
judging.
drawn-
I'm not judging. I'm just clarifying.
I assume he plays accordion in some band. An aging Max, Aaron Paul, returns to his ancestral family home with his husband Timothy, John Leguizamo. It had only been 10 days since Max's parents were both killed in a supposedly tragic yachting accident. While clearing out his father's study, Max stumbles upon a vintage neon green ghetto blaster boombox with 3 words inscribed underneath. I am Kazaam. Out of curiosity, Max hits play. An upbeat Ravi Shankar number starts playing. The house rumbles through its foundation. Suddenly, a large man appears before Max in a fantastic cloud of smoke. He is dressed in gilded robes and adorned with the finest jewels. He announces himself as Kazaam, as portrayed by Craig Robinson, and tells Max that he is a genie. I love Craig Robinson. He's a charming dude. He's a really talented musician. Anyways, he announces himself as Kazaam and tells Max that he is a genie. His father's genie, to be precise. When Kazaam asks where Max's father is, he relays the harsh truth to the genie. Kazaam is crushed. His father had only used one of his 3 wishes in his 20 years indentured servitude. If his wishes are never exhausted, he'll be forced to reside forever within that pastel-colored boombox of yore. Choking back tears and not really taking the emotional nor logical amount of time to process the fact that there's a genie in his dad's study, Max says he will follow his father's wishes. Kazaam lets him know right off the bat that he can't kill anyone and can't bring anyone back to life. But short of that, he can have any wish his heart desires. Furthermore, since his father has passed on, he will be bestowed 3 new wishes as opposed to the 2 remaining of his father. Kazaam politely asks him his first wish. Max takes a seat on a worn ottoman and breathes in deep. Suddenly, Max is transported to his honeymoon in Bangladesh with Timothy, his husband. Timothy can't keep his eyes off the historic architecture of Dhaka, the capital city, but Max gently reminds them that they promised to leave their anthropological work at home. This was a time for celebration. Timothy agrees and signals to a man in a food cart, who promptly begins shoveling a vegetarian curry of some sort into a wooden bowl. Out of the corner of his eye, Max sees a child and an adult male getting into an argument. The man grabs a young pup out of the boy's hand. Max asks the boy why the dog was being taken away. The boy says the dog is going to be sold to be used as a fixer in a dog fight where it will certainly lose. Yeah, it's streets of Bangladesh, boys. It's not great. He says they desperately need the money for food. Heartbroken, Max chases down the man and gives him all the money in his wallet in exchange for the dog, which he returns to the joyous boy. Max turns around to see Tim divvying up their curry to a gaunt family laying prone in the street. A single tear rolls down his cheek. Back in present day, Max looks to Kazaam and tells him,
"For my first wish, I want junk food to rain from the sky."
With a flick of his wrist, Kazaam whispers,
"It's done."
Throughout the world, Malamars, Big Macs, Snickers, Scotch eggs, and Funyuns rain down on the unsuspecting populace below, summarily ending world hunger but not world malnutrition, as well as displaying countless numbers of land mammals. Kazaam asks Max what he desires for his second wish. It'll be a fucking vocal exercise. Kazaam asks Max.
Asks Max.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, see?
It's easy to do. Max leans back. Suddenly, he remembers 8th grade. It could have been any day in spring, but on this particular day, a squad of bullies cut off Max on his way home and were beating him furiously. The group was convinced it was Max who had ratted them out over selling counterfeit copies of Soul Plane at lunchtime, even though he swears he didn't do it. From behind his back, the lead bully pulls out a butterfly knife and does that totally cool thing where he flips it back and forth and basically that's how you open a butterfly knife. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah,
the butterfly knives are cool, flipping around.
It's really the only reason to have a butterfly knife because it doesn't really make sense to have it otherwise.
You have a perfectly good knife.
Yeah, that's just ready and not you gotta perform a magic trick to stab anything. Max struggles, but knows it's ultimately futile. But suddenly, a middle-aged man starts screaming at the boys from a nearby parking lot. It's Max's dad, now played by Kevin Costner, with CGI facial hair. All of the bullies scramble except for the lead one, who trips and falls on his butterfly knife, deeply piercing his left leg. Kevin Costner dad asks Max if he's alright, and then goes to tend to the bully. The bully tells Kevin Costner that his father was recently killed in the Iraq War, and that is why he's resorted to selling counterfeit copies of Soul Plane at lunch.
Cool. Yeah, there's some parts of the world where they don't even celebrate Christmas.
Kevin Costner tells the boy,
"If you build it, they will come."
The boy immediately starts crying as the two embrace.
Wait, he's embracing the bully?
Yes, he's embracing the bully. It was a deep moment. His dad died in Iraq, Scott.
I know, but he's not embracing his son?
No.
Okay, just making that clear.
There's a lot of fans out there in our world.
Swing vote.
One man can make a difference. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm so
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. For my second wish, Max says, now back in present day, I wish the Iraq War never happened. With a flick of his wrist, Craig Robinson Kazaam undoes the tarnished legacy of the Bush years. While ultimately, everyone who died in the Iraq War ended up dying in a variety of different circumstances, as per Genie Rule number 1, where he, can't not, save a life, but the state of affairs in the Middle East were a lot less bad, and several terrible films were never made, including Last Ounce of Courage.
Oh, good. That's the world we want to live.
I love my country. I love being free. Kazaam, I know what I want for my final wish.
Max stares up into the cool eyes of the djinn standing before him.
I want to see how my father died.
Kazaam is cold.
Max, you remember that you can't stop him from dying.
Max nods his head.
I know, but he would be there for me.
Kazaam waves his hand, and the two are transported to a picturesque cornfield. Max and his father, still Kevin Costner, but in a CGI hairpiece and CGI overalls this time, are playing aggressive tackle football. Max couldn't be older than 5.
I don't understand, Kazaam. Keep watching.
Max and his father continue to tussle, laughing gleefully. Kevin Costner covers his eyes.
All right, Maxie boy, give me your best shot. Okay, Dad, here I come.
Max charges into his father's chest. He and Kevin Costner tumble together, laughing all the while. The sun starts to set in what we can only assume is the Kentucky sky, cornfields. Kazaam leans toward Max.
During that last tackle, you slightly dislodged a valve in your father's heart. From that second on, he could have passed away at any moment, just like he did when he was driving that yacht with your mother.
Max holds back tears.
So you're telling me that my father was a second away from death for almost my entire life?
Kazaam leans in close.
Yes, but that's true for every father.
The two keep watching as father and son give up on their game and lean against the soft earth.
Son,
said the father to his, son.
Yeah, Dad? No matter where you end up in life, I just want you to remember 2 things. 1, always be better than your old man. Oh, Dad, how am I supposed to do that? Believe me, it'll be easier than you think.
It's funny, next I had, and the two laugh exuberantly, but you guys did it for me.
You got it.
And number 2, I want you to wish the best for everyone. The boldest and the bravest of us all started out as a wish somewhere deep in someone's heart. Okay, Dad, I wish we could get some ice cream.
Wait, no!
Your heart. It's just gonna clog the arteries, Dad.
Kevin Costner laughs.
You know what, my boy? That's a wish I might be able to grant.
The two get up hand in hand and walk off into the sunset. Kazaam and Max watch as the scene dissipates around them. When Max opens his eyes, he's back in his father's study. The ghetto blaster is still in front of him. He picks it up to check, but the inscription is now gone. Timothy knocks on the door jamb.
Hey, sweetie, do you need any help in here?
Max pulls his husband close and kisses him deeply.
You're all I could ever wish for.
Wish You Were Here by Incubus starts playing. Roll credits.
Yay! Well, it seems like you for as much as you seem to be sick of K-Cost, you seem pretty happy to bring him up again this week.
I mean, I just wanted like a douchey dad character, and like if I just make him Kevin Costner, then I've done most of the work, really.
Yeah, he joins the ranks of Jay Tolte and
Tolte.
Good old Jay Leguiza.
Johnny Legs.
Johnny Legs.
Johnny Legs, yeah.
Shit.
He's the husband in this one.
Yeah.
He's the cradle robber in this one. Much older than Aaron Paul.
Like, you got that corny dialogue.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, that's a wish I can grant.
I mean, I do not like Aaron Sorkin films. I'm not a fan of his in the slightest.
Jog my memory.
He wrote the Social Network. He also produced The Newsroom, which is like the most Aaron Sorkin-y thing. Oh no, The West Wing. He wrote and produced The West Wing, which is the most Aaron Sorkin-y thing he ever made.
Is Newsroom the Jeff Daniels show?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's the most pretentious, blowhard piece of crap. Okay.
I don't like it.
Doesn't suit my taste. It's probably someone's thing. But yeah, okay.
I don't like it.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's why there was a whole Iraq War not happening thing. There's a little Aaron Sorkin jab there.
I mean, that would be a good world to live in.
I mean, yeah, but then again,
still going, by the way.
Yeah, no, it is. So, anyways, budget $35 million. Rotten Tomato score: critics 78%, audience 103%. A computer error allowed this to happen.
Damn computers.
Expected gross profit $150 million. Actual gross profit $420 million.
See,
But yeah, I told you this was weird, man.
Well,
I wrote a weird thing just now. That was a weird thing.
No, I don't think it was.
It was pretty weird, man.
When you say weird, you build it up in a different way than that. That was very.
He wished the
look
Iraq
who we're
War
talking.
away.
look at you're talking here. Yeah, but everybody still had to die.
Right.
Well, yeah.
It made it that much better. Just less malice involved, I guess. But
You definitely adapted 80s style. You.
I just. How do you remake Kazaam?
I'm not gonna,
This way, apparently.
yeah. It's not a movie.
hey, of all them, I wouldn't have expected it. So you definitely pulled that one out the woodwork.
I frequently say it's like if you're gonna remake something that didn't get it right the first time. But I mean, some shit just deserves to be left in the dust. Like
Oh yeah, Kazaam is one of them.
One of those, definitely. And the genie dust.
The genie dust, right?
The magic dust.
You know what I would have liked to see in all of ours that didn't show up was the I Dream a Genie. You know what I mean?
There's not even a mention.
Yeah.
That's not the song.
What?
But you can see
I
the
see what
later
you
one.
mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Hearing the word ghetto blaster said over and over never sounds good.
I'm pretty sure that was the type of.
No, it
boombox
is. It
was,
absolutely
yeah.
is. You're right. But it just every time you hear it, like, I think there's a James Bond movie where Q is like, my newest invention. It's like a boombox, and it's a rocket launcher.
Oh my
inside.
God.
I think it's old Q, and he's just like, it's
The ghetto blaster. 007, that's my lunch.
My lunch.
All right, well, if you liked what you heard today, you can go to prequelsequelremake.com/subscribe, and you can subscribe to the show on any of your preferred podcast networks. We're adding new ones all the time. We're currently on 4, about to be on a 5th one, hopefully on a 6th one soon. So, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, Player.fm. I'm forgetting Anchor. There we go. Anchor is the other one there. And you can follow us on social media. We're Twitter @PreSequelCast, Facebook.com/PrequelSequelRemake. Check out our blog full of new articles. Just go to PrequelSequelRemake, all one word.com. Google Prequel Sequel Remake, all one word.
And you can find us on that Insta.
Yes, Instagram too.
Yeah.
@Prequel Sequel Remake.
It's filling out.
It is. We're filling it out.
Lots of likes and followers.
So
soon.
Be a like and follower of the future.
We like.
Should we take him out with the festive Prequel Sequel Remake gargle?
Yeah,
Grab the liquid nearest you and give it a good gargle. Yeah.